Alright, let's talk to Lawrence one more time, I'm assuming. Perfect timing, Acting Commander. Ye must save me from these bloodthirsty bastards, please! Well, Lawrence, let's hear your excuse, and had better be a good one. Why in the seven hells were you sucking about in the shadows while we all did the dirty work? Ha! Like you'll be ever happy if I showed up sooner. I can hear you winging it now. What do you think you would be able to handle this on your own? I'll be bloody fierce regardless. Don't you think I've forgotten what happened, or rather didn't happen on the day of our duel? I am the buggerest idea you ever think of. Even though the future of the company hangs in the balance, I waited and waited, and waited for some goddamn more, and still you never turned up. But I got you now, and I will have my satisfaction. Given Lodge's perchance of a late arrival, I couldn't help but worry too. To say that he cut it fine would be a fine understatement. I say it's not a choice as usual. My scouts observed him roaming near Costa del Sol not long ago. It would seem our commander's woes sense of a direction has not improved in the least. I'm honestly surprised you never realized, Lorando, that was not to blame for extreme tardiness, that the commander did not arrive at the agreed upon location for your duel, after the sun had risen and set a half dozen times. Lugo here should take me. Sumai, you promised that you would stay between the two of us. Ray Fox, you have a kind word or two for your old commander, don't ye?
Bishop! Commander Lawrence! Commander no more! New commander! Friends to guppies everywhere! Does many sweet works for guppy kind!
Oh boy. And here I thought you were too much of a coward to face me in a battle. Come on, Londell, you know better than... Then it's settled. We fight here and now. On your guard. Say what? Put that thing down, I say. You will hurt someone with that. Now, no. Hard to believe he was once glued to his merry band together. That's right. If you hadn't realized the obvious, Lorenz is our former commander. Forgive me for not saying it plainly sooner. I didn't want you to think we're doubting your leadership. He got his quirks, but as you know, he is a force of nature on the battlefield. That's an understatement. Anywho, I think we can all say that our stints as acting commander has been a rousing success. Now, I reckon it's about time you gave your final order.
Bishop! Company of heroes break up once more? Brave Fox never liked parting with guppy friends.
Here, here. I may not have any complaints, but when we are together, a good fight is never far away. You hardly any company or commander to get you to that. And should Limso ever been imperiled, there is nothing stopping us from rising to the occasion. Till then, you're strong enough on your own right. Why not serve to the weak in your own ways? Huh? Why not?
Bishop! Whatever!
Alright, I guess we'll talk to all of them to give them their final goodbyes. Let's start with you, and then hopefully, Brave Fox. You had quite a turn of a duty, but all good things must come to an end. Any parting words before we separate a ways? Let the company of you disband. Give Juju Guju my best regards. Finally, I can only enjoy some semblance of peace again. At least as much as peace as a man who can enjoy hand and foot for the Lord of Coastal Death's soul. It may have been rough sailing at times, but I really enjoy serving under you, Acting Commander Artorias. Alright, next me, Mr. Lanuel, Mr. Blood and Soaken. Well, if it's something to say, let's hear it. Return the whalers and keep the murdering to a minimum. Yes, please. Hell, if as I need to tell me when I'm enjoying the diversion, I know as well that any true place is a Gridanian leading a respectable life. You may not be able to be a perfect commander, but 12 as my witness, I hope to fight by your side again. Very well! See you on the rando. Okay, you next. I wait your orders, Commander. Look for after the old brave old. I have responsibilities. I strive at once for my guidance and protection. I can ill afford to tarry here any much longer. Nevertheless, it is with regard that I take my leave. For all their faults, or which they may have, they are my companions, and I will miss them. Ah. And you, Mr. Shamai? Well, let's hear it, Commander. You owe me a bottle of your finest brewskis. That'll be the very first line Lush would say. 100%. Indeed, indeed. I mean, we'll return to Winesport as soon as I tied up a few final loose ends here. Speaking of wine, I always prefer the older vintage. Let it sleep in their barrel for many summers. They come to a tasting better than ever. One might say the same about my own company. Well, see you later tonight. And lastly but not least, Brave Fox.
Bishop! Brave Fox wants busy work. Brave Fox awaits uplanders. Leppily flaps.
No more cheese wars, please. Yes.
Bishop! Brave Fox feels heavy heart but accepts uplanders' busy words. Brave Fox had good times and happy feels with goodly friends, but good times will come again, and when they do, no boomstick will bring blasting doom with much nastiness.
Alright, Prophet. Brave Fox, see you another time. Alright, Lawrence. On that note, I ought to be on my way. Slipping away again, are we? You are a creature of habit. I resent you for the time being, you know, but I think I understand now. Better to shun fame and not serve for example for glory seekers too eagerly fight, and too quick to die. He overthinking it. I'm a creature of whimsy, a man who lets the wind carries him where it wills. But more importantly, this new age belongs to the new blood. I have my days in the sun. If you succeed in bunkering peace with the beastmen, there is no need to worry about primals, and the company can go into permanent retirement, and then I can say I did right by the old man. If you hadn't been there for us both, I doubt I would be able to pull the trigger. Thank you, Lorenz, brother.
Bah, I did nothing.
It was you who's shouldering the Captain Blowfist's burden and that of the entire league. I'm sorry, Merlwyb. I know it hasn't been easy for you. But I dare say you work hard enough. Maybe the common folk aren't the only ones in need of retirement. But I said as much. Lorenz, hold his tongue. Gods! You haven't changed, but yes, my greatest test is the Admiral still lies ahead. And as I steer the great ship Vinburn towards a new future. Heh! You truly are your father's daughter. I owe you my thanks too. Dare say you did almost as good as a job keeping my men to the task as I have done. I call it a hunch, but something tells me our paths may cross again. But forgive me if I carry on like I've never seen before, but not like my old friends Miss Beard, I prefer to keep my past in the past. Okay then, I will pry into your personal life then. And with that, I am off. Take care of yourselves. And so with you. No. The blasphemies! No. The blasphemies are no more. But we'll never know the lasting peace until the crushing tides agree to lay down their arms. It'll be a daunting test, but we saw in Satasha that they are not beyond reason. I would do all in my power to see that your efforts and sacrifices of my brothers were not in vain. Psst, forgive us for even our being freed from our false god strong. Still, we clung to our hateful blissfulness. It was easier to hearken to the speakers, those every word, and turn a blind eye to the hushed truth. Easier and cowardly. I return and speak with my brothers of the crushing tide. I will tell them of our Queen's mother's sacrifice and the vision of her hope that you have shared with us. I will only have you give us time and trust us to make our own decision. You have my word. If you have not been averse, let us return to the spawning grounds together. Adventurer, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. I will repay you in every way I know how, by doing my part to usher in a new age where Showwalker and Sahagin stands as one. And let's talk with the Admiral next. Just as now it would seem, ever since we achieved our measure of peace with the kobolds, I pray that this day would come. Though that is, of course, only the beginning. Negotiations must be held, and word exchanged in earnest. Will inevitably lead to a flawed tempered and bruised ego, but such things always accompany meaning progress. The history of Vinburn is one bloodshed, but we have the power to change our ways. After all, it is clear we are united more in our similarities than we are divided in our differences. I will share what we have seen with our Sahagin with my fellow Lominsans and listen closely to their doubts and concerns. First, for it must be a harmony not forced upon them from above, but one which they expire of their own free will. No doubt, Noll and his brother feel the same way. Hopefully. Again, you have come to Limsa's aid, my aid, at the time we need it most. When next we meet, I hope that is not as an admiral and adventurer, but as friends. May have trading war stories over ale at the wretch. But for now, I must return to my duties. Drafting reports and decrees is hardly the most exciting part of my role, but it is a necessary one. If you happen to pass through Sahagin, pray share your exploits with your delegate there. Doubtless he'll be interested to hear of your first-hand account. Most likely he will. One day I will lay down these musks of mine for good, but not yet, father. Not yet. There is still work to be done to ensure that the Kobold and Sahagin are at peace with each other. Alright, let's go to the Lominsans delegate in Sahagin. Alright, let's talk to the delegates. Alright, Mr. Lominsans delegate, I am back. Ah, Taurus, you return. Pray tell, what news of my homeland? Well, we just killed a blasphemy and established peace with the Sahagin, Kobolds, and Lominsans. Extraordinary! And a chance at peace with the Sahagin. These are heartening tidings indeed. Without a doubt, you have helped dispel the pall of despair that once hung over the Vilbrand. Our people now bask in newfound hope. I must share the news with the others. Feel glad that it will be here that the threat to the limbs of the Lominsans is no more. Thank you again, my friend. And done. Bum bum. Now I can have my specific die gear for level 90 DPS for melee. More or less. Sweet. Hi guys, thank you for enjoying this long recording session on Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker for the melee DPS role quest. And if you have any comments, put them down below the video as well. If you like this video, please click the like button, it is very much appreciated. And if you have any lingering interest on what's coming on my channel, you can give my YouTube channel a look. And if you're interested or not on the videos there, you can probably subscribe. If not, that's alright. But if you're going to, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified for future videos that'll be upcoming on the near future on my channel itself. And as per always, I have 3 projects which are coming, well, still ongoing, mainly on my channel, which are of course Final Fantasy XIV Raid, Trial, M-Skill, Progress, Jobs with Minions and Mounts, or anything other 14 related. And secondly would be FGO NA for the Lost Spell 4, Lost Spell 5, Lost Spell 6, and eventually Lost Spell 7, eventually when that ever comes over to the global version of FGO. And of course we have the role videos for whatever particular banner that comes down the line, especially for 2023, where there will be a lot of interesting particular servant game-breaking ones, especially for the Buster meta. And not to mention the challenge quests and the events itself, whenever they come out periodically. It really depends on when they actually come out. And lastly, my third and say the least project is, let me say it, Persona 5 The Royal, which I don't know whenever this is gonna come back in my channel at some point, but regardless, it will come back eventually in the foreseeable future, maybe. So with that out of the way, this has been Raven Sleep 45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.